Hello, slaves, and welcome again to Bad Girls Video Game Review. This is the one we've all been waiting for, Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. Now, I only own and have played Pokemon Y, and all the clips you'll be seeing throughout this review have all been taken from Y and Y alone. However, Pokemon X is almost exactly identical, with the exception of maybe 10 version exclusive Pokemon and maybe another 4 Mega Evolutions that are version exclusive. That's it. So anything I say about Y also applies to X. Just like any video game, there are things I like and don't like about it. Let's start with the things I like. First off, the Kalos region is the largest region of any of the Pokemon games thus far. It's based upon the country of France, with the largest city in the center, Lumiose City, being based upon Paris, complete with its own version of the Eiffel Tower. Well, actually it's the 5th gym, but it looks like the Eiffel Tower. The completely new 3D world of Pokemon is a very welcome change. We're all getting tired of the Earthbound-like sprites walking around, especially since the 3D graphics have been available since the DS. The graphics upgrade looks even better in the battles. Though the game mechanics have stayed the same, Pokemon looks so much more alive and detailed in this new 3D rendering. Definitely a welcome change. And as everybody is already well aware of, there's a whole lot of new Pokemon available in the X and Y generation, some of which I truly believe to be the strongest designs since the first generation. Unique new evolution methods have also been introduced, such as Inkay's evolution. Upon reaching level 30, you must rotate your 3DS upside down to make it evolve into Malamar. I found that to be quite unique. Also new to Pokemon X and Y is the Pokemon-Amie, which is a bottom screen interaction with your Pokemon. You spend time petting them and feeding them cupcakes, and their happiness will go up, and they'll like you better. Now really the only way this is useful is if your Pokemon evolves by a friendship or happiness level. Otherwise, it's just kinda for fun. Another new bottom screen feature is the Super Training games, one of which is where you have your Pokemon continuously hit a punching bag to raise their stats on custom. The other is a long and drawn out balloon fight, where your Pokemon flies around a course throwing soccer balls at a giant balloon in the shape of a Pokemon. The balloon Pokemon will also shoot soccer balls your way and try to reduce your score, and you have to beat the clock to reach the goal score seen in the bottom corner of the screen. The Super Training makes EV training a thing of the past, and definitely makes raising the stats to your Pokemon a lot more fun. One of my most favorite things about Pokemon X and Y is for the first time ever, you can customize the way your trainer looks. You're given the default boy and girl trainer at the beginning. However, once you reach Lumiose City, you can visit a hair salon to change the style and color of your trainer's hair. Also in Lumiose City, as well as several other cities throughout the Kalos region, are clothing boutiques where you can try on different clothes and experiment with different combinations until you get the overall look that you're going for. As for the enemy organization of X and Y, I fucking adore Team Flare. The 4 scientists of Team Flare remind me so much of Lady Gaga, and that's probably what they were going for, and I fucking love it. I love Team Flare even more than Team Rocket, and I have never said that about any of the other organizations from previous gens. The upgrading graphics also bring upon really impressive cutscenes, unlike any seen before in any previous Pokemon games. For example, the awakening of Yveltal. Once Yveltal busts out of that fucking cocoon like a boss, you actually do feel pretty intimidated going into a battle with it. Yet another new feature of Pokemon X and Y unseen in previous generations are the Sky Battles. Battles with trainers that can only be fought exclusively with flying Pokemon. Now all of those things make this a fucking awesome game. However, believe it or not, Pokemon X and Y are not perfect. Here are some of the things I don't like about the game. Though you can't tell by watching this video, anyone playing the game will notice that the game isn't always 3D. As a matter of fact, it is only 3D for battles, cutscenes, and inside caves. When you're roaming around the Kalos region, it's not 3D. The game automatically shuts the 3D feature off. This is a serious shame because some of the locations found in the Kalos region, like the Tower of Mastery, would have looked really cool in 3D. One of the most irritating things about X and Y is the excessive censorship in nicknaming your Pokemon. Now this began in the Black and White series, where it was an internal censor that recognized profanity words and would not allow you to name your Pokemon with excessively obscene nicknames. It's understandable that a children's game would not allow you to name your Pokemon fuck, ass, bitch, cunt, rapist, or similar stuff like that. But can somebody please explain to me why words such as bite and spice are censored in Pokemon X and Y? That's pretty fucking stupid. It doesn't make any sense. However, it still does not stop a complete asshole like me from giving my Pokemon some tasteless nicknames. You mad, bro? Another huge disappointment is that excluding Mega Evolutions, there are only 69 new Pokemon as part of Gen 6. What's even more disappointing is that the only legitimate evolution from a previous gen Pokemon is Sylveon, another evolution. I personally would have liked to have seen at least another dozen evolutions of previous gen Pokemon as part of Gen 6, and I think they easily could have done that. But they didn't. They kinda just went crazy with the Mega Evolutions instead. Another thing that I really don't like about Pokemon X and Y is that it is too easy. Pokemon Y is the easiest Pokemon game I have ever played. I caught Yveltal with 1 Dusk Ball and Mewtwo with 3 Dusk Balls. I don't feel like I should have been able to do that. I feel like it should have been just as the good old days, where you save right before the legendary and spend hours upon frustrating hours of throwing 50+ balls at it and trying to catch it and excessively failing over and over again and having to turn off the power and turn it back on. Those days are gone. The legendaries are ridiculously easy to catch. And we're not just talking legendaries either. The trainers, gym leaders, and even the Elite Four in the game are way too easy. I beat the entire game without losing once, and that has never happened to me before in a Pokemon game. I've always lost to at least a couple trainers and had to black out and end up at a Pokemon Center. On top of that, really powerful Pokemon are just handed to you without you having to work for them. Like this Lucario, already holding Lucario Light, gifted to you by the 3rd gym leader. Just hand it to you. Just like that. I don't like that. I'd rather work hard to get a really strong Lucario. But the single biggest letdown of Pokemon X and Y is the fact that you can only use one Mega Evolution per battle. I've discovered this during my fight with Zygarde. I first sent out Banette and immediately Mega Evolved him. However, he was almost 20 levels lower than Zygarde, so Zygarde took him out with a one-hit KO. Later in the battle, I sent out Venusaur, intending to Mega Evolve him and use Sleep Powder to put Zygarde to sleep. However, the button wasn't active. It didn't do anything. So, therefore, the Mega Evolution was wasted on Banette. Now, I still caught Zygarde without much trouble. However, this limits on Mega Evolution is going to be a serious problem when battling my friends in real life. I now have to study their team as I'm battling them and carefully choose if it would be better to Mega Evolve Banette or Venusaur. And of course, anyone that was planning to have a whole team of 6 Mega Evolutions can just outright forget it. Definitely a huge fucking letdown. Now that may be a lot of bad things to say about a long anticipated game such as Pokemon X and Y. However, that does not mean I don't like it. Pokemon Y is fucking awesome! This is the Pokemon game that we have all been waiting for since we were kids. Bad Girls Bitch Blog gives Pokemon X and Pokemon Y for the Nintendo 3DS an unprecedented perfect score of 10 out of 10. Catch 'em all, motherfuckers! Salute! Fuck you, Moltres.
Bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. Bad.